Island for a reception at Hillsborough and a service at St Anne's Cathedral. He'll then return here to London, where locals are being warned they'll likely need to queue overnight to view the Queen at Westminster later this week.
An emergency response is unfolding at Black Forest, where a person has been struck by a train. The crash occurred at about 150 metres south of the Clarence Park train station just before 1 p.m. The Seaford and Flinders rail lines have been shut between Oaklands and Adelaide in both directions. Substitute buses are operating instead. A drunk driver who injured 5 people in a high-speed crash at Seaford Rise last year has been jailed for at least 2.5 years. 20-year-old Arshdeep Singh pleaded guilty to aggravated causing serious harm by dangerous driving and failing to submit to an alco test following the crash last September. He's apologised for his actions, saying he accepts full responsibility for the crash. He'll be deported to India on his release. Extending Adelaide's e-scooter trial for another year is set to dominate discussion at tonight's City Council meeting. Lord Mayor Sandy Verschoor says an extension would allow for government reviews to take place.
The state government has a select committee of Legislative Council that has been established to look at all the transport and specifically the use of e-scooters. So we need further regulation. We understand that.
But Pedestrian Council CEO Harold Scrooby says the scooters pose problems for users and for others on footpaths.
Until someone can show us the benefit, why are we ruining our footpaths? People have taken the foot out of footpaths. They are footpaths for a very good reason. They protect us from vehicles.
Now turning to 5AA sport, one of the AFL's best young players, Luke Jackson, will leave Melbourne during the upcoming AFL trade period. The 20-year-old premiership ruckman, who is out of contract, wants to return home to WA. Meantime, Collingwood will head into Saturday's prelim final against Sydney, better prepared than when they last faced off in round 22. The Magpies marked out their training ground to replicate the SCG dimensions this week. Defender Jeremy Howe says practising on the smaller ground gives them confidence.
Feels shorter, like the centre bounce probably coming into the forward line feels a lot different. Yeah, it's probably the break to space for forwards. You just feel like you don't have as much space to work into, so probably the timings of that, the way that we use the ball can be a bit more effective this time around than we thought.
And Aussie Talia McGrath has been named the ICC's Women's Player of the Month for August. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Kilburn, look out for a smash on Churchill Road near the shops. At Wingfield, due to works, the left lane of the north-south motorway is closed outbound. That's near Grand Junction Road. Speeds reduced. Pretty slow going at the moment too. And at Hawthorn, you'll find a burst water main slowing things up. Belair Road near Princess Road. Got one lane out of action. Busy right now. Cross Road near Fullerton Road. And keep your eye out for a camera. Cooper Plain at Beaumont. Want a delicious meal or snack? Head to Guzmati Gomez for their nacho fries, just $9.90. Yes, nacho fries, just $9.90 at GYG for a limited time only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, 20. Showers and a possible storm tomorrow, 21. And showers on Thursday, a top of 16. Right now it's 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Touching scenes as the Queen's children lead a moving vigil for their mother. A report reveals how an Adelaide ambulance delay death could have been prevented. How far and fast you need to walk every day to keep health issues at bay. And the new retail hub for Adelaide's North, bringing discounts and hundreds of jobs. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News Tonight at 6.
SA's greatest rivalry on radio. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4. Good afternoon. Welcome along to the show. It is Tuesday. Lots of sport to get your teeth into. Tim Jennifer, Stephen Rowe, welcome to you both.
Thank you very much, Leith. Only 3 more sleeps till the prelims begin. Can you believe that? And I must admit, today is a spring day. You can feel it in the air, and you just want to get into it. And I think the prelim finals have really delivered. I think they probably delivered sometimes better than the actual grand finals have. And I think when you get the 4 teams that end up in these prelim finals, they're absolutely primed and ready. And if you can get through, then you're up for an absolute cracking grand final. They're littered with great moments, littered with great players in those prelim finals. But, Rowey, as I welcome you, mate, I was going to ask you, how many did you play in and did you win any?
Oh, well,
because Norwood didn't have a great record.
This is a leading question.
It is indeed.
Timmy, you know the stats of that. Before I get to mine, I'll ask yours, because from my memory from your career is you just went straight into the grand final. You didn't bother with prelims.
Didn't like wasting time in that game, but no, actually I played in 4 and we won 3 of them. The one we lost was to you guys in 93.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
which is an interesting year for you because you were torn in 93 between 2 prelims almost, weren't you?
Well, yeah, that was a shocker. 93, the Crows made the prelim against Essendon at the MCG, and I was the travelling emergency with Wigney.
Yeah.
Of the morning, everyone on air has heard this story 100 times, but just quickly, if it's fine, Wiggles plays. If it's wet, I play. Well, I woke up in the morning, it was brighter than it is out there now, and I got on a plane and came back, and I got on the plane, we were 46 points up at half-time after the dreaded Bix
dust
moment
storm, the dust storm.
The dust storm.
The Masashi.
The Masashi growling dog. And touchdown in Adelaide and we'd lost. So that was a prelim loss. But 87 I lost a prelim against Glenelg. 88 I lost a prelim against Glenelg by 5 points. 89 I lost a prelim in North. So when I came over to play the first 3 years of Nord, it must have been my fault. We lost all those prelims. But I played in 5 losing ones and 2 winning ones.
Yeah.
So
and the ones you won, did you go through?
Yeah, we did. So 93, we won against, who did we beat in 93?
Beat us.
Beat you guys.
Yep.
And then we got smashed by the Eagles.
Yeah, they were outstanding in 93.
And then in 97, we went through beating Central. Well, you beat us. We thought
which was a shock.
Which was a shock, and then we beat you in the grand final. But my bad memory, if there is one, of those prelims, and I love Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty Hodges, that freak goal to you guys to win by 4 points in 96. Honestly, it was the 29-minute mark of the last quarter. It was a ding-dong game, and he puts a goal through against a Northerly. Yeah. Swung it right to left when no kick in the world could ever go right to left. I've spoken about that kick 100 times too. Only he could do that.
And you're right. It was just one of the great prelim moments. But it's funny. It reminded me of great rivalries because I was listening today because Port and Nord, obviously, you play enough each other in finals, you're going to have great moments.
Of course you are.
Yeah, and both teams are going to have those. Interesting Essendon and Carlton discussion because both of those have had really good moments against each other. But the 99 prelim, where and I know I can see Leith Forest getting up and about here, but you know Essendon were out and out favourites to win that. They're struggling.
Yep.
Big Dean Wallace tries to take on Fraser Brown and gets dragged down holding the ball. It's just one of those great prelim moments. And then I heard David Parkin say, yeah, but 93 still stings me when they got through after that famous final against the Adelaide Crows, and they beat Carlton in the final, and he said that still stings as well. So you have those moments against each other that sting. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, there are. There's, but I just think the prelim final week in itself, if we look at the AFL this week, there's 4 teams with all their members, all their supporters, all the hope, all the excitement, the anticipation of that game. To know that you're going to be in a grand final, that's a different feeling than when you're in the grand final, you can win the cup.
Correct.
There's something about it. I don't know whether it'd be ridiculous to say it elevates.
Yeah, but it's a cutthroat mentality.
But the whole year is to make the grand final, and then you make it anything can happen. And that's what a prelim is for me.
It's the last fan final of the year because it's so corporate, the AFL grand final.
That's
so the last chance. There are so many great prelim AFL memories. 8223 0000. We want to hear yours. $50 voucher thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor to give away.
If you had one, Rowey?
Well, mine, let's do this one. Mine just has to be the 1997 AFL prelim final.
Crows,
the
Bulldogs.
Crows got over the Bulldogs. That goal celebration by Libba that got signalled a point.
But it's looking more and more likely that the Bulldogs will survive and go through and meet the Saints next week. What a grand final that would be.
Still a long way to go in this game, Drew. Quick snap.
Libba.
Tony Liberatore celebrates a point.
Well, what will he do when they get a goal?
See,
Look at Libba.
yeah, no, he did. We can all remember that moment,
yeah.
but a lot of people don't remember the moment of that game. It was only about 5 or 6 minutes into the last quarter. They were 4 goals up.
Yeah.
They had all the momentum.
Correct.
He kicks that, it's 5 goals. You know that's a dangerous lead. But
Makes it hard.
from then on, it was just all D Jarman. We kicked 4 goals 6. The Dogs kicked 6 behinds. We won by 2 points going to our first grand final. And the reason I say that moment, it was a turning point. But when you support a team from day one, I happen to be a part of that team from day one, to see your mates that are still out there playing to reach the ultimate prize, that was just exhilarating. I can remember the moment I was standing when that happened, when that siren went, and You felt that sense of pride with the guys. But that was just... The whole state exploded, Timmy. I think even you would have exploded with excitement.
I don't think so. Mine, and I must admit, my prelim hero is Fraser Gehrig. Because if Fraser Gehrig had not kicked 100 goals against Port Adelaide in that prelim, I reckon we might have gone down again in a prelim, and it was getting a bad habit after 02 and 03. It was really disappointing. Here's this moment. They are all over Port Adelaide. You've got Roger James holding it up by himself. Yep. He was outstanding.
Wasn't he ever?
But Fraser Gehrig kicks that goal, and it just, the pitch invasion, which, again, thank the Lord that was able to happen, it just calmed it down a bit, and then we had game on. But then it came down to this last moment in the last quarter where, ironically, an ex-Port bloke is about to kick a goal.
Gehrig makes his lead, then doubles back. Guerra, the former Port player's lurking. He's at the back of the pack. Brent Guerra couldn't get the boot to the ball, and it's over. Oh, high drama at Amy Stadium.
How brilliant was that tackle? Sean Burgoyne just diving and then able to push the ball over the line, and it just saved a moment for Port Adelaide, which gets them into the grand final. And then they always knew if they could get there, they thought they could win it, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I was at that game. That was unbelievable.
It was a great
I think
game.
there was nearly 50,000 at Footy Park. It was, and I played in a premiership with Roger James, so I was very close to the James boys. So to see him do so well gives you a level of happiness.
Great goosebumps.
Hello, Jeff at Craigmore. Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey.
No, not there.
We're still doing our grand final.
We
today,
are
aren't
indeed.
we?
We're about to name a name very shortly.
Oh, good thinking. Well, hopefully it's Jeff and he can come back on. Hey, so just some news
If
of
you've
the
got
day,
a moment,
right?
let us know. If you've got a good prelim moment, let us know. We don't know what happened to Jeff.
Absolutely, we'll get him back. Hey, Rowey, just some news of the day. As expected, Luke Jackson wants to go home to WA. Now, they're talking about, perhaps 2 first-round picks being what they'll have to pay for him. Now, I didn't realise that West Coast might be in the market as well, because he just wants to go home to WA. Doesn't care where he goes. FIVEAA have showed all the interest, reportedly putting 7 years and $900K a year on the table for him. But they reckon it just triggers off a heap of other draft and trade picks to fall. If
the
he
dominoes
goes.
will fall if he goes.
If he goes.
Because if Luke Jackson goes to Fremantle, which is massive in itself, Fremantle will have to move about 4 or 5 players on to make room for him, because they've got bugger all, to be honest with you. What have they got? They've only got 1 pick in the top draft, and they're
going to have to shift a lot.
Melbourne will then need to chase Brodie Grundy because they want to replace him. Freo will need to move players to get that. I mean, honestly, GWS got blokes going left, right and centre. But just on Luke Jackson, he's 20 years of age. He's a premiership player. He was pick 3 in 2019. So that in itself is dead set worth 2 first-round picks or an early first round. Fremantle had pick 13. That's not going to get it done. They might have to use something else on the back of it. I don't know. He had a poor final series. I know he had a good grand final. I just hope he doesn't turn into another Tom Boyd.
Oh,
all that.
wow.
Well, you think about it. A 20-year-old going back. If he does sign for 6 or 7 years on $5 or $6 million, he's the poster boy, Timmy. That's a lot of pressure for a lad. And look at what happened to Tom Boyd.
And Tom didn't handle it well. I thought his best game he ever played was the
grand
final. And that, like you're saying, that could be Luke Jackson. And gee whiz, you're putting a lot of eggs in one basket if that's the case.
Monday, the 3rd of October is the trade period for those that want to know. And as we said, the dominoes will drop with all that sort of stuff. West Coast had pick 2. Junior Rioli will end up at Port Adelaide. That's probably an early second rounder. They've got more to give to get than what Fremantle do. Fremantle have got a lot more moving pieces, so it's going to be a good little trade period.
Look, it is. Heard some rumours today that I didn't like either, Rowey, I've got to say. One I liked and one I didn't like, to tell you the truth. And
well, let's start with the one you liked.
Well, the one I liked was there was some talk that perhaps, and even though he's got a year to run, Cozzy Pickett might be interested in going to Port Adelaide.
Choppy Jr.
Oh, wow. That would be exciting.
I would move heaven and earth for that kid. In actual fact, I think he's better than Isaac Rankin.
He's a very good player.
And I think a lot better.
Yeah, and he's a premiership player already, so very exciting, that one. The one I didn't like, Georgiades. I don't like this at all. Obviously, the WA clubs will want to be into him. West Coast is probably the one that would put its hand up because they've lost Kennedy, let's face it, and they want to try and get that forward replaced. I just personally, he's like, I know people might disagree with me, He's my number one forward at Port Adelaide. He is my number one.
Well, if you,
he is the untouchable.
Yeah, if you were to ask me one lad you'd want to get over from that club for your needs, I'd say Mitch Georgiadis. He's 21 in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, he's exciting.
He can sit on your head. He can do anything. I love his kick. Nah, he is an untouchable.
Yep. I'm with you. Let's hope that is the case.
They wouldn't, would they? They couldn't, could they?
Trade drives me insane. Hey, the Berry case goes on. It's going to be decided. We may well get a result while we're on air.
Yep, so it starts at 4:30.
Which is awesome. So hopefully we can get a result before we come off air. But here's Robbo last night on his thoughts on it.
Where was he looking? Retaliation is not big in the AFL world because he's got a forerun to his throat, can't breathe, hurting. I think they can downgrade it to careless. I think Jared Berry's a pretty fair footballer. I haven't heard anyone ever say he's not. I think he should get off.
He thinks he should get off. I think most people are saying that, Rowey.
Well, this is... He's up... Let's call it eye gouging or, contact to the eye region. If the AFL Tribunal, I think they need to build this step in to the process from the MRO to the Tribunal. If they could do what we call a settle out of court. Now, you can do that where the Lions advocate just picks up the phone, says to the dude at the AFL House, listen, you haven't got a snowball's hope in hell of proving that Berry had intentions to intentionally do that. It's all day, every day, careless. So let's throw this sucker out and give him a fine. Yeah. It's wasting everybody's time.
I'm with you. And
let's get a settle out of court. The two can ring and they go, you know what, you're right.
And if they hold it to one game, I'll do a Dunkley in 96. The Swans put a high court order on it and he allowed him to play the game.
He'll be right to play.
We will hopefully have an answer for you before 6 o'clock. We'll get to your calls in just 1 second. What's your favourite AFL preliminary final moment? 8223 0000. We'll try and find the appropriate audio to go with. And as you heard yesterday, we have tickets to the big dance, the 2022 Toyota AFL Grand Final. This is flights, this is accommodation, and 2 tickets for you to go to that one day in September. All you've got to do, very simple, grab a copy of the Tizer every day this week, grab the daily code word, register FIVEAA.com.au on the win page, and then listen. Every half hour we'll call out a different name. Pretty easy to find today. Just look for the photo of Timmy and
back page.
It's on the back page.
This half hour, so you need to listen to the show every minute of every day. This half hour we are after Ian Sharman.
Oh, from Sharman Shelby.
Not sure if he's related, but Ian Sharman. If you're listening, Ian, it's 19 past 4. You've got 20 minutes to get in the draw to win the AFL Grand Final tickets, flights and accommodation. 8223 0055. Ian, if you know Ian, tell him. He's got 20 minutes or 19 now.
Sharman Shelby.
We will get to your calls right after this.
Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah. Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah. Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah. The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Exposed Concrete, official sponsor of 5AA's All-Star Golf Day.
There are some things you have to wait for. Honey, we're having a baby.
We are?
And some things you shouldn't wait for, like having your blinds installed. Some companies take months to install. Not Bob Burns Blinds. We'll do it in just 10 days. Our quality blinds are made right here in our local St Mary's factory, so we can have your blinds measured up and installed in no time. And that's a promise. Visit bobburnsblinds.com.au.
With everything going on, it's tough to stay ahead. But you can always rely on a great Aussie shed to protect your tractor, boat or car, even turned into your very own bar. Somewhere to pile up your bales of hay or to escape with a block of clay. Whatever the plan for your Great Aussie Shed, act fast, because our Great Aussie Shed sale is here at last. Visit one of our 4 display centres today. Olympic Industries, built to last.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 4 lucky ticket holders a huge $250,000 each. Purchase your tickets before the early bird deadline and you could win big. Pay off your mortgage, take a holiday or invest it. The choice is yours. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the luxurious grand prize at Somerton Park. Join the fight and get your tickets at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14227.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Jama's Kitchen has taken breakfast work functions and morning meetings to a new level. There are now 5 different areas to choose from. Jama's Kitchen. Fancy made easy. Visit jamaskitchen.com.au.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
This week at Foodland, Arnott's Shapes, 130 to 190 grams. A half-price snack attack special, just $1.75. Till September 13th, while stocks last.
Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 4. We'll get to your calls in just 1 second and check the traffic. Gee, you'd be pretty happy, though, if Ian Sharman called in, wouldn't you?
Ian Sharman, 1 minute. You're the record holder. How good. Who you taking? You worked that out?
No, not yet. I've got quite a few AFL mates and family probably want to go.
Yeah, I bet you, Ian, you got plenty more now.
You do. You're in the running, Ian.
Hey,
Congratulations.
just one quick one. Any relation to Sharman Shelving?
No relation at all.
Oh, that's a pity. Good on you, Ian.
Still does a top quality job.
Yeah.
Ian Sharman, there you go. The first half hour. Be listening just after 4:30 for another Name Your Chance to get along to the grand final with flights and accommodation. Here's what's happening on the roads.
At Wingfield, due to works, the left lane of the north-south motorway is closed outbound. That's near Grand Junction Road. Speeds reduced and slow going at the moment. Hawthorn burst Watermain causing delays on Belair Road near Princess Road. That's down to 1 lane in both directions. And Fullerton intersection works continue crossroad at Fullerton Road. Speeds down to 40. Busy right now, South Road at Henley Beach Road with a camera to look out for. Tusmore Avenue at Tusmore. Want a Netflix subscription included in your internet plan? Get more choice when you switch to Optus Home Internet, the home of better internet. It starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Prelim final week, we're asking for your great prelim final moments. We've got Mark. G'day, Mark.
Guys, how are we?
All right, my friend, what are you thinking?
Can I take up 10 seconds and tell a quick story before I do this?
Go for it.
All right. Years ago, I used to live in Paradise Road, Silks Road, right? And there was Norwood used to train on the other side in the oval there, the primary school.
Right.
Anyway, so we went across, and there was a bloke sitting there. I reckon he had like a 2-door Toyota Celica or something like that, reading the tab guide with the races going. And it was a young Stephen Rowe.
Right.
So we went up to him and said, Rowey, how are you? Hey, boys. And we just said, look, mate, is this Darren Jarman bloke the Crows recruited really worth all that money? And he put his tyres down. He said, guarantee you this, lads, he will win games of footy off his own boot. He's worth every penny.
Yeah.
And, so I changed it. I was going to go with Lockett's point, but I'm going to go with Stephen Rowe's call with D. Jarman.
His big prediction.
Well, I take a bit of due credit to myself for D. Jarman coming to the Crows because he wanted a couple of things. He wanted to be a member of the Glenelg Golf Club. He wanted a house in Henley, a few bits and pieces for this, that and the other, and he wanted to wear number 3. So Bill Sanders said, who's wearing number 3? And they looked down the list, S. Rowe. Well, he can pee off.
You know what? You were stating a bit of the obvious, though.
That's right. Probably. Hello, Anthony.
Good afternoon, Stephen. How are you?
Good, mate.
That's good. Mine is, I've got mixed emotions with this one. I was actually in the crowd for this one, the 2014 preliminary final, Port Adelaide Hawthorn.
Oh,
yes, I know, Timmy, I know. Port dominated the whole game and were inaccurate, and then Hawthorn got 5 goals up, and we were storming home that day. I can still hear the crowd going nuts. We were storming home and the siren beat us.
Yeah, well,
the siren beat us.
I think the 3-goal 9 in the first quarter might have beat us too, I reckon.
I was at that game at the MCG with
You
Bone.
called it, Rowey. You called it, Rowey, and I was
God.
there. I reckon I had Brett Montgomery with me in the special comments seat.
There you go.
And I remember you turning to me and going, "Oh, Timmy,
no.
you must be proud of him." And I said, "No." I said, "The door was open and we didn't walk through it."
Oh,
and it
dear.
felt like that, didn't it?
Did they go on to win it that year, Hawks?
Hawks
I think
won
they
it.
did.
Yeah,
You would have
they
won
did.
it that year. Hello, Phil.
How you going, boys? Mine is when Western Bulldogs picked up Tony Liberatore off the ground and he's waving his arms around in circles.
That was mine too. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the point, and the one that, well, it is a good memory, but, you know, it's sad if you're a Crow supporter, and that's Michael Long bouncing that ball across the wing area in I think it was the 93 prelim, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. Heartbreaking. I think Tim Watson coming back out of retirement and getting the winning goal was the one that hurt the most. Phil, great memories, those ones. Keep them coming in. Cafe de Villiers text, I like this one. Has Jackson been poorly advised? Oh,
Luke Jackson,
love
of course.
it.
Yeah.
I think Luke Jackson, Hopper, Taranto, Braun are being poorly advised. Hashtag Vic Media bias.
Yeah, look,
yeah, I agree.
I'd see with the Hopper and Taranto one, they're big deals. Same with the Jackson one. You go 7 years. That's why I was talking to Bix last night about maybe there's got to be a cap on it. Because I'm going 7, 9, all these ridiculous terms.
Remember,
you just don't know. And you're talking exactly right. A 20-year-old guy, 7 years.
Getting that sort of money. But remember, in 2025, they're getting $4.5 billion, $170 million more. So the salary cap will lift minimum
so sign
30%.
3. Sign for 3.
Yeah.
Back yourself
Oh, you're
in.
more the term than the dollars.
Yeah, I'm more the term. Because I know the money's
I agree
coming.
with that.
Be confident in yourself.
If you've got a favourite AFL prelim memory, we would love to hear it for Bombers fans. Stick around. We might try and sneak the Mitch Wallace one in, Dean Wallace rather, a little bit later on in the show. Up next, though, one of the stars of the 97-98 Crows premierships, who himself has a great memory in a prelim from 98. Matty Robber next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
This seems to be going quite well at Jetstar, doesn't it? And Qantas generally. Do you know the story that did it for me the other day? Was how Alan Joyce made such fanfare of how he took a pay cut for COVID when he was on millions and millions and millions of dollars in the first place anyway. They secretly jacked up his pay.
Yeah, outrageous. Informing Adelaide.
In the midst of all this stuff about lost luggage, flight delays, you give yourself a pay rise in the middle of that.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Imagine the thought of innovation at your fingertips, accelerating with efficiency and power. Imagine a bold, striking design with the comfort and confidence of advanced safety tech. Imagine where you could go in a Hyundai SUV. An SUV range with enough style, tech, and performance to turn your imagination into reality. So if you're thinking SUV, think Hyundai SUV. Discover yours at Hyundai.com.au.
Who can fix the shower?
Service today.
Who can fix the power?
Service today.
Yes, we can, is what we say. Service today.
Every time you see our bright yellow trucks in your area, we're helping out your neighbours. We can help you too. So for the best plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling work, call Service Today 24/7.
Can you fix the shower? Yes, we can. Can you fix the power? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, is what we say. Service today.
Call 1300 Service.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
Life is a journey, and the path you choose is yours alone. Choose vitality and go with your local Go Vita. Go Vita health food shops are proud of their 30 years worth of health and wellness experience. It's what helps their natural health practitioners specialise in you. Go Vita is your destination for trustworthy, professional and personalised health and wellness advice and an extensive range of products and services. Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
I'm Travis Denham from Again Real Estate. It's often just one special feature that helps spark interest in a home. outdoor blinds used to create entertaining areas really set a home apart. They add extra appeal to patios and alfresco areas, an investment that adds value for sure.
Improve, invest and add value with quality outdoor blinds by Country. Visit countryblinds.com.au for a free measure and quote.
'Cause everybody loves their country.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. A pedestrian and a dog have been struck by a train at Black Forest, forcing the closure of the Seaford and Flinders train lines. A group of 10 everyday Australians have been invited to attend the Queen's funeral at the request of Buckingham Palace. The federal government is hinting pandemic leave payments could remain after this month when they were due to end, and David Warner is open to talks with Cricket Australia about replacing Aaron Finch as captain of the one-day cricket side. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Old Ranello, car has hit a pole on Old South Road at Renell Road. At Winkfield, due to works, the left lane of the north-south motorway is closed outbound. It's near Grand Junction Road, speeds reduced and pretty slow going at the moment too. At Hawthorn, you'll find a burst waterway slowing things up Belair Road near Princess Road, and speeds down to 40 for intersection works Cross Road at Fullerton Road. Busy right now, Grange Road at Crittenden Road. I've got a camera, Cooper Place at Beaumont. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup is coming to Adelaide in October. Adults from $20, kids from just $5. Tickets at t20worldcup.com. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Showers and a possible storm tomorrow, 20. Currently it's 19 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Sets it up. Cox again. I cannot believe it. You've got to go back to Billy Graham at the MCG for an American to dominate like this. Can he guide it through? Yes, he can. 3 of the very best.
We are after your favourite AFL prelim final memories. What about the time the big American just got a hold of the MCG and ripped Richmond a new one? It was quite incredible. We'll get to more of your calls very shortly. $50 voucher to give away to Parafield Airport Liquor, so share your prelim memories. We're also this half hour calling out another name for your chance to go along to the Toyota AFL Grand Final with flights and accommodation. Just got to buy the Tizer every day this week. Grab the code word register at 5AA.com.au. This half hour, we're after Suzanne Smith.
Suzanne with a Z.
Suzanne
there you go.
Smith.
There you go, Smithy.
Suzanne, you've got 20 minutes to call for your chance to win.
Well, 2018 was a favourite of mine, a prelim. The Crows won over the Bulldogs. My next guest, well, if he wasn't BOG, he was certainly close. Matty Robran, 10 marks, 20 touches, kicked 6 goals, 3. He joins us now. Robsy, welcome. Favourite memory there? Well done, buddy.
Yeah, certainly one of the most special days that I was involved in. It was nice to contribute on the scoreboard in what was a great win, particularly because we played the same side in 1997, the Doggies, and I think I sat on the bench for the second half and I had a horrible day. So it was nice to be a contributor the following year. So yeah, very special memory, that one.
Yeah, Andrew McLeod wasn't bad, 19 touches and 7 goals.
Yeah, it was marvellous. We were having a little bit of a joke, obviously, at the final end of the last quarter when the game was well and truly over. And I think we both had 6, and we was having a little bit of a joke to see if one of us could snaffle one more, and he got one with a few minutes left. But he obviously had such a gripping final series, and he carried that brilliant form from the prelim, obviously, into the following week against North Melbourne for another Norm Smith.
Hey, Matty, Tim Geneva, I'm just watching some highlights of this game, and I'll tell you what, the MCG isn't the picture-perfect thing you see today, is it? Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievably muddy in the middle and patches everywhere.
Yeah, it certainly was, Tim. The middle bit, I mean, there's bits of play where you see players just trying to struggle to keep their feet or change direction with any sort of real assurity with their footing. But, very, very different. It was certainly the centre, and I reckon certainly through the middle corridor was very bare of grass. Very different to what the boys play on these days.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Hey, I did notice, and Andy McLeod, as we just spoke about, kicks the 7, but I didn't notice Liberatore going to him right at the beginning. Couldn't have done too good a tag and drop.
No. I reckon Bunge had about probably 3 or 4 players on him that day. I reckon Libba did start on him, and Andrew he kicked a couple in the first quarter, and then I think Libba was moved off him pretty quickly, and I think the likes of I reckon a Brad Weir might have gone to him at stages. even as Simon Garlick was on him, but yeah, they just couldn't get close to him that day. And some of his goals were typical McLeod magical goals, reading of the ball off the pack and just silky smooth goals. So they weren't your regulation ones, all of them. There was some pretty special ones in that 7 he kicked.
Paul Hudson kicked 5. Who was standing him?
Don't know, but it was just such an open game, wasn't it? I think I recall what the final score was, but you have a look at it compared to these days, and it was just up and back. It was goal for goal. At times, there wasn't a lot of defensive mechanisms in place.
I love it.
There were a few easy goals with blokes standing in the goal square on their own, but it was a terrific prelim because of the attacking nature that both sides went out there with. But I actually played footy with Paul Hudson at Hawthorn. He was a very good friend of mine, so he certainly did very well that day.
24 goals, 17, 161. That was Adelaide. Doggies 13, 15, 93. So they even had 28 shots at goal. You won by 68 points. I had a look. I didn't realise it, but Blighty dropped Chad Rintoul for Ben Marsh for the grand final that year.
Yeah, and I obviously for whatever reason Blighty had his reasons for that, but I think the thought possibly could have been just to have that extra tall for us up forward, because North had quite a sizable defence with Mickey Martin. I think Jason McCartney was down there as well, and I reckon he just wanted to throw in the mix with an extra big fella and maybe just an extra option in ruck if something happened to Pitto or Sean Wren. But Marshy did some really good ruck work up forward as well, which was a real advantage to us, because I think a couple of times he was against Jason McCartney or Michael Martin, who from a height point of view weren't your typical ruckman size. So, yeah, it was maybe just trying to exploit their lack of, I guess, a second quality ruckman in the side, and Marshy did a great job.
97 and 98, back to back. To think 97 was 25 years ago. Matty, where has time gone?
Yes, it certainly passed very quickly. I didn't even realise it was 25 years until we received an invitation in the mail a few months back to attend the 25-year reunion at the club. Time has flown by. Certainly the memories are fresh, though. I guess when you experience the best sporting day of your life, they're always going to remain quite vivid memories, and very special ones to look back on. And certainly time for the next crop, though, of Crows players to become premiership players. I think it's time to share the mantle.
A lot of unsung heroes. I'm just noticing in some of these highlights. Brett James was an underrated player, wasn't he?
Oh, James, he was terrific. He was, I guess, if you had a label on him these days, he's probably your inside mid that would just ferry the ball out to your outside players. He was always a player that would get 5 kicks and maybe 15 handballs. He had
set
a great
up a lot,
ability
didn't
to win the ball in close, and his hands were very, very quick as well. I guess being he was probably under the tutelage of Craigie at Norwood, so very quick hands. And another one, James Tyson, who had a terrific grand final. Andrew Eccles did some really nice things as well. So it's just one of those games where it's probably an old cliche, but everyone played their role grand final day, which was great.
3 daughters, any of them going to play AFLW, Manny?
There might be a chance. My middle child, Kayla, who's about to turn 18 in a couple of weeks' time, is out with Norwood in the senior squad. So hopefully have a good pre-season and get some opportunity or get some exposure at SNFL level, which will be terrific. And Alicia, my youngest, who's 15, she's out with the 16 development squad at Norwood. So it's just about getting the experience of training at a high level and I guess exposing themselves to the standard that's required to play at a higher level. But there's certainly a goal to for Kayla particularly to perhaps develop and see where the football path takes her.
If Kingo Taylor could hit a torpedo every single time 70 metres, you were the second best. You were about 68 metres.
Loved a barrel.
Can the girls land a barrel? Have you taught them how to do the big barrel?
I haven't taught them yet. Will one day.
Come on, Matty.
Just at the moment we're working. We just get the basics right.
Good man.
They both had a wonderful weekend because they were in the Henley Juniors 2 premiership sides. Brilliant. So they both played in the grand final on the weekend. So they're enjoying their footy, and I certainly love watching them play and develop. So they're doing well.
Thanks for sharing those memories, Matty. Good man.
Pleasure, guys. Thanks for chatting.
Matty Robin, it was a hell of a game.
It was
10
indeed.
marks, and they were good marks, not just on a lead.
I'm watching the highlights too. He's
6
selling
goal
candy
three.
everywhere. He's kicking goals at left
Should have
and
been
right.
9. He'd be
Absolutely.
disappointed.
Well, he was a bit unselfish. He passed a couple
I
off.
know. Goal assist.
Get that out of your game.
M. Robert. Hello, James. You got a favourite memory?
Yes, I have. I was fortunate enough to be at both 97 and 98 grand final, prelim finals. Very fortunate, but 97 was my favourite. Went with a mate and myself, Crows scarves on. We were at the scoreboard end, the city end, underneath the grandstand watching it, and I can still remember Liver jumping up and being cradled, them missing shots for goal, the Doggies supporters with earrings, scars and skinheads standing on seats, turning around and threatening to kill us. Their eyeballs are hanging out of their heads. And I think, my mate said, we're not going to get out of here alive. And I said, we're not moving. You've got to die somewhere. You might as well die at the MCG.
Jimmy.
So they were screaming at us. We got up in the end and we're standing there, and to a man, I reckon, they walked past us, grown men crying their eyes out for the love of their own club, but they shook our hands and said, well done, but we ain't barracking for you next week.
Well done. Thank you, Jimmy. Got a Cafe de Villiers text here. My favourite prelim is when West Coast had 2 goals to half-time against Neil Craig's Crows, and then Ben Cousins exploded in the second half. I called that game. VB was the fittest player in the AFL.
Yep.
And he was even tonguing it, and he was tagging him. So something must have been amiss there.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I reckon 1 and 1 equals 2. Not 11, 2.
Well, Jason Ackermanis actually had a similar statement about somebody who tagged him in the second half of the game too. And, they were under scrutiny back then, but, hey, they've got the flag.
Here's another one. Rowey, my favourite prelim was when Macca whacked Stuart Dew.
Oh, no.
Steve at Hectorville. No, it wasn't, because it cost him a grand
Cost
final.
him a game.
Well, in actual fact, if he didn't whack Dewey and cost him a game, I probably wouldn't have played in that 97 because I was coming back from injury.
Right.
So Macca out, row in.
Yeah.
Remember hugging him like I've never hugged a man in my life after that grand
Did you
final.
favour, you reckon?
Hey?
Did you favour?
Nah, I felt for Macca.
I felt
We
terrible.
were going to go to court.
Yeah.
The sample, our sample club, were going to go to court over that, similar to that story you told. And Macca picked up the phone, he rang Wally, and he said, don't do that. That's a distraction. I hit him. I'm out.
And that's what I loved about it. I heard that story, and that's typical Macca.
I hit him.
No, he's
That's
got
footy.
that attitude that, everything happens to me is because of me. And he just copped it on the
Love
chin.
him.
How high?
As did Stuart Dew.
How high were you again when you took that mark in
Oh,
97?
no.
Well, high enough to see the Port fans leave the
embarrassing.
stadium.
It was embarrassing.
He said they saw him down the boulevard. Hey,
as high as this can
Smith,
here.
Suzanne Smith of Golden Grove, you have 9 minutes.
Oh, no.
This could be our first
Ooh.
loss. Suzanne
no.
Smith of Golden Grove. Everyone's been in a minute or 2 minutes. We need Suzanne in the next 9 minutes for her chance to go to the grand final, including accommodations and flights. Suzanne, come on.
Imagine the old days. They'd be
Don't
going
let
through
us
the
down.
white pages and
Oh.
going, which one's Suzanne?
S. Smith. S.
Well,
Smith.
hang on.
S. Smith.
Steve Smith.
Could be Sue, Susan, Suzanne, Susie, whoever S. Smith is, you've got...
She's registered. She's bought the Tizer.
Come
She's
on.
got 9 minutes, Suzanne. Just before we get to a break in the traffic,
Come
2 bits
on.
of news for FIVEAA Milk. Junior Rowey has made his decision. He's informed the West Coast he wants to be traded to Port Adelaide. So
Wow.
now it happens.
Look at
That is
Timmy's
official
eyes.
on the AFL website.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
Berry tribunal case has just started. The Lions are arguing that Berry was in a vulnerable position due to the force being applied to his throat by Clayton Oliver, and therefore he was acting in self-defence.
Agree, Your Honour.
Hopefully we'll have a result for you before 6 o'clock.
Before you go, that's big news. You need a small forward, you got him. You got the little Geelong boy. So you got pick 8, 53, 56 and 80.
Yeah, what's going to do it? That's
Well,
what
you're not
asking.
going to give up pick 8.
No.
So you're going to have something go the other way. Rioli for Georgiadis.
No. Not in a million years.
Timmy.
No. It's just pure no.
No, it's
the
a no.
grey
That's not
mottlop
happening.
out. Junior Rowey
In. I'd take that. I love this
Big
kid.
news for Port Adelaide. Here's what's happening on the roads.
At Lockleys, we've got a smash on Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road. Blair Athol, another collision there. Main North Road near Grand Junction Road. At Elizabeth Downs, another collision. Yorktown Road at Midway Road. Hawthorn, you'll find a burst water main. It's causing delays. Belair Road near Princess Road. And we've got a camera cross road at Meadowbank. You could win $30,000 and a tiny escape to the block thanks to Colorbond Steel. Enter now. Search Colorbond Escape. Ends October 9. T's and C's apply. SA permit 1091. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
If you're feeling unwell, you might be thinking of heading to the emergency department. But sometimes there's better ways to get better. For coughs and colds, a GP or respiratory clinic might be better. For minor cuts and grazes, you're better off at a pharmacy. And the emergency department is always there if you need it. Not sure what to do? Call Health Direct on 1800 022 222. For more info, visit sahealth.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Hey Strikers fans, Jason Gillespie here. Forget footy season, it's time for SA to turn blue and get behind your mighty Adelaide Strikers. That's right, tickets to all WBBL and BBL matches are now on sale. And to welcome back the best fans in the league, we're excited to offer early bird pricing for a limited time across all matches. Don't delay, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au today for links to purchase, and we can't wait to see you back in blue this summer.
Gallop in for Beaumont's massive bathroom catalogue sale with never-to-be-repeated prices and heaps of freebies, like a free bath caddy with Decina baths or a free loo with our complete bathroom packages. With up to 25% off, don't miss Beaumont's massive bathroom catalogue sale.
13 minutes to 5, stud after 5. Don't want to take all his good work, but West Coast have pick 2. So pick 2, Timmy.
Yeah.
And Junior Rioli.
Yep.
For Georgiadis.
No.
Pick 2, Timmy.
Get on with the read, mate.
Care Alert GPS personal alert system. Look, it is amazing. The technology they've been able to fit in a small little pen, it is mind-blowing. If you have a sudden accident or an illness, you know what you do? You push the SOS on the button, Happy Days helps on its way.
Now, it's got a couple of features that you absolutely love. One is fall detection. So if you fall, it knows that you've actually fallen. So,
oh, wow.
Which is automatic, and I love that. And the other one is the perimeter alert. So if you've got a elderly parent like I do, that's got early Alzheimer's, and they might just wander off, and unfortunately, they don't know where they are, press the button, and
Boomski.
the GPS will track you, locate you, bang, Google Map, that's where they are.
Yeah. Darren is the Care Alert manager at the moment. That's the son
When's
of.
Mike back?
Yeah, well, Mike needs to get back from Florida because
Darren's gone crazy.
I think he's running around like an unregistered dog at the moment.
He's giving away deals at the show, you name it.
Yeah, SA family run business. I love this. If you want to hear success stories, this is one. Been with us at AA since 1986. I love those stories.
Now, right now, every Care Alert GPS order, they're throwing in a free key safe lock valued at $50. That's the bargain for you, sir.
Done. 1300 75 85 95. I'll do that properly. 1300 75 85 95 or visit carealert.com.au.
Can I just sneak in? Suzanne Smith has 4 minutes.
Smithy!
Suzanne.
If you're due for a service, here's a little reminder of what you get at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Sure, your car gets state-of-the-art servicing by top-trained mechanics. But what do you get? Try next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. Oh, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we know that to be the best, we've got to look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made right here in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide, and when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens here in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Unlike some others, Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything right here. It makes sense to live life local. Live life Leader. Leader Computers. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
10 minutes of 5, flat as a carter's hat, because Suzanne Smith of Golden Grove literally is in dangerous
she's
territory.
a buckle wheel,
She's got
mate.
2
time on.
minutes.
Time on.
Buckled wheel,
Suzanne
Susan.
has done all the hard work. She's bought the Tizer.
Yep.
She's registered the code word at 5AA.com.au.
Come on,
We've
now she's
called
not
out her
listening.
name. She's got 20 minutes. Her family, her friends, her neighbours, her loved ones haven't called her and said, Suzanne, you're literally on the clock. You've got a minute left.
She'd want to be at Red Cross giving blood.
This is red
That's
time.
the only decent excuse.
Yep.
Hang on a sec.
hang on.
Yeah, that's not Susan, is it?
Hello, is that Suzanne Smith?
Hello. How about Susan Smith from Clempton?
Oh, that'll do.
She made it.
No, is that...
Better late than
this,
never.
Is this the real
I'm
Susan?
not Golden Grove.
Oh, well.
You know what? That'll do.
No,
that'll do.
No. Hang
on, Susan. Hang on, Susan. Is your surname really Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you registered your code word on our website?
Rowey said that'll do.
That'll do.
No.
Oh, hang on.
Do you know
Someone just firmly said no.
Do you remember the old days when Tony Barber reached under the desk and grabbed the phone? That's what we're going to do, because this Suzanne's phone number does not match the Suzanne that we're after.
Sorry, Susan.
We will need to check with the Lotteries Commission T's and C's.
Sorry.
We'll come back with an answer like the Berry Tribunal. We'll
Sorry,
have an
Susan.
answer.
Too much controversy.
6 o'clock.
Susan, I said yes, and these two killjoys said no. I'll ask you once more. Georgiadis for pick 2.
No.
Just pick 2.
I'm saying no.
Well, how are you going to get the deal done?
I want to know what
For
Dean
Rowey?
thinks. G'day, Dean.
Hello, how are you? I'm going to talk about Georgiadis because I've got his stats here from over his career.
Yeah. What is
So
he?
he's
Is he
45
21 yet?
games.
Is he 21 yet, Dean?
Yeah, well, he is, but the point of it is what you've got to look at is the accuracy and everything else. So I'm going through these stats, okay? So he's played 45 games, he's kicked 59 goals. Frees for 18, frees against 26. Average touches 10. Average goals 1.3. Okay. A goal accuracy 49.2. Marked 4.3. Tackles 1.9. He's going to replace Kennedy, who has an average of 2.7. And Kennedy kicked 720 goals for West Coast. So
Dean, do some homework for me. We'll cut you off there, but do some homework for me. Have a look at Kennedy's first 50 games compared to Georgiadis's, and then ring us back. This kid doesn't turn 21 for another 2 weeks, Dean, and can sit on your head. How about that homework? That'd be nice. Thank you, Dean. Well done.
Thank you.
So Carl Amon, what would you get for him?
Oh, yeah, you might end up with a pick around about anywhere sort of 17 to 20, maybe around that mark.
Would that get the deal done for Rowey? The compensation pick for Amon goes straight to West Coast.
If West Coast accept that, you're probably saying, yep, that's a good swap.
Okay.
Yeah, so that might be okay.
So I'll ask once more, Georgiadis for pick 2 to West Coast.
Again, for me, no. Regardless of Dean's stats at this stage, I think I'm looking at Georgiades going what he can be.
Just confirmed. Unfortunately, we cannot award Suzanne Smith from another suburb, the Suzanne Smith of Golden Grove, which means that Suzanne will not be in the running for the grand final, the accommodation.
So who's
her new nickname is Herschel Gibbs. She just dropped the cup, I hope her husband's filthy.
So the next half hour, can it be Suzanne Smith from Plimpton?
No, it cannot. We will have a new name for you, Timmy, just after 5 o'clock.
We're going to talk about this with Stud after 5 because I'd love to get his take on this, all things football with Stud. The AFL's declined to comment on the process or decision, if you like, on why they scrapped a minute's silence for the Queen at the AFLW games. Now, everyone knows my opinion on that. Timmy, I'll ask
brought it up
yours.
last night.
For me, it was absolutely disrespectful. It was short-sighted. And I think it's painted the AFL in a bad light. No question about that. And for the fact they haven't come out is, I think, ridiculous. Here's what Caroline Wilson said on Footy Classified.
The AFL badly botched the tribute to Queen Elizabeth where its women's competition was concerned. Not only did it take away from the moving and stirring tribute at the MCG on Friday night for the men's semi-final, but it turned a tide of public opinion against the women footballers unfairly. It was divisive and it needn't have happened. Why the AFL boss or bosses who made this call didn't take into account their sensitivities of the women's Indigenous round and only hold the 1 minute silence for the men's competitions in the first place is beyond me. It was a public relations mess and it was upsetting for many people on both sides. No wonder no one has put their hand up to take responsibility.
Well, I think someone needs to own it, and whoever does own it, I'd sack him, fair dinkum. I thought Indigenous leader and head of Australian Indigenous Foundation, Warren Mundine, said it best. Have a listen.
I found it quite insulting, actually, because it's sort of like us poor Aboriginal people. We won't be able to stand 60 minutes of our life, paying respect to the monarch. There are a lot of Aboriginal people who respected that monarch. There's a lot of Aboriginal people who have good manners who would have stood there for that 60-second silence and that I just getting sick and tired of, and I'll say it, and people can call me a racist or not, of white people and white organisations telling me how I should feel.
I think someone at AFL House has to own it.
Nobody is at the moment, though. And it
how weak
sounded
is
like
that?
last night on Caro's show that, classified that, they're not going to own it. And nobody's going to put their hand up and say, I was responsible.
How weak
for that.
is that?
It's going to be interesting. Look,
Who are they protecting? They're clearly protecting someone.
Still divided, though. Warren Mundine made his comments, and then Hawks AFLW player Kate McCarthy said, look, no minute silence. Think about it. Think again. Think slightly deeper, and then realise. She wasn't happy with it. She didn't want it to happen. So there's still divided opinions on whether it should have or shouldn't have.
Well, regardless, Tim, that's what I'm saying. The AFL's the governing body. They need to lead. So lead. So either make the call, come out and tell us why you did it, or you made the wrong call.
Or why you didn't.
Or why you didn't. But to sit there, honestly, you are weak. You are pathetic.
So what you're saying is the only silence we've got is the AFL.
There we go.
We put a call into the AFL and unfortunately have not received a response on that. Graham Corns to have his say on that and more, and a brand new name after 5.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Introducing the all-new Kia Niro, available as a hybrid or full electric model. This SUV is smarter than your average car, featuring Kia Connect technology. Take control of your Niro with your smartphone. Cold out? Turn up the heat before you get in. Forgot where you parked? Relax, the app will lead the way. The all-new Kia Niro in hybrid or all-electric. It's smarter than your average car.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What will you look forward to when you take the first step to great retirement living? Many people who make the move to an FIVEAA retirement community speak of the feeling of belonging, looking forward to trying new activities and making new friends, finding a place that truly is home. It may feel daunting to start with, but the friendly team at FIVEAA are here to help you make the decision that's right for you. One with a little relief, less worries, and a whole lot more looking forward to life. Search FIVEAA First Step to book a discovery tour.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne. Get the latest kitchen and bathroom brands at Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies. The ABK Supplies showroom has just been updated to showcase sinkware for all budgets, including Oliveri, Abbey, Mir, Castano, BUK, and classic durable fine fire clay sinks from 1901 and Turner Hastings. With finishes in polished and brushed stainless steel, brushed nickel, bronze, and many other finishes, your kitchen or laundry will be stylish and timeless. Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies, Lower North East Road, opposite Dernancourt Village.
At Specsavers, you can get one complete pair of standard multifocal glasses store-wide for just $199. Yep, any pair, any style, any designer, any shelf. Offer ends September 28. SA stores only. Conditions apply. Should have gone to Specsavers.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. Get in touch with the experts, Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA on 8300 0000. That's 8300 0000.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me.
Arbor Vitae health supplements are now available at leading chemists and health food stores nationwide. Ask for Arbor Vitae at your favourite pharmacy.
Arbor Vitae.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14 with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek. King Charles will make his first visit to Northern Ireland in the coming hours. At the same time, the Queen remains in state in Scotland. Clinton Maynard reports from London.
Hillsborough Castle is the royal family's official residence in Belfast, and the front gates are lined with flowers. King Charles is scheduled to attend a brief reception with politicians and religious leaders. There will be a service at Belfast's St Anne's Cathedral. Late today UK time, Princess Anne will accompany the Queen's coffin on the flight from Edinburgh to London and Buckingham Palace, where the Queen will be taken to the bowroom. In the early hours this morning here in London, a rehearsal has taken place in the quiet pre-dawn streets for tomorrow's procession, the Grenadier Guard taking a key role, while just curious passers-by watched on. Tomorrow, thousands will watch the Queen's journey from Buckingham Palace to Westminster.
One of the 10 Australians who'll be travelling to London to attend the Queen's funeral says it's an extraordinary honour. Each country in the Commonwealth has been asked to invite 10 ordinary citizens. Among them is 2022 Senior Australian of the Year, Val Dempsey. She says it's an amazing honour.
She just inspires in me that magnificence and graciousness will tell out till the end of the day. She, for me, was my absolute most inspiring role model for service before self.
A pedestrian and a dog have been struck by a train at Black Forest. The incident happened just before 1 this afternoon, 150 metres south of the Clarence Park train station. The Seaford and Flinders lines were shut down but are now running again. The condition of the pedestrian is not clear. A drunk speeding off-duty taxi driver who slammed into a wall at Seaford Rise last year at nearly 150 k's an hour has been sent to jail. 20-year-old Ashdeep Singh wanted to impress his new friends as he ferried them from one party to another. He lost control, mounting 3 median strips and a curb before hitting the concrete wall. Amazingly, no one was killed. Singh pleaded guilty to aggravated counts of causing serious harm by dangerous driving and refusing to submit to an alco test. He's been sentenced to 2.5 years non-parole and will be deported to India once released. The Adelaide City Council will decide whether to extend their e-scooter trial for another year at tonight's meeting. The extension would allow them to be used while the government undertakes a review. Pedestrian Council CEO Harold Scooby is frustrated by the current lack of rules governing the vehicles.
But no one's proven that they're any use whatsoever, except that they're stopping people from walking, which is only going to make us a lot fatter if we're all going to embrace this form of transport.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, Melbourne told Luke Jackson has finally made a decision on his future, requesting a trade to either West Coast or Fremantle. The Demons say they are disappointed but respect Jackson's decision to return home to WA. Collingwood has adjusted the boundary line of its training ground to match the SCG dimensions ahead of Saturday's prelim final against Sydney. Magpies defender Jeremy Howe says it makes a big difference.
Well, it's just smaller, so we felt like probably on the last time we played, we felt like we got stuck on the boundary line a lot and probably exposed us through the middle of the ground. So, you know, just getting used to the feel of the dimensions and the way that we want to use the ball and also defend. Certainly playing up there not that long ago, you know, we got some key learnings which we'll take into this game.
And David Warner is open to talks with Cricket Australia about replacing Aaron Finch as captain of the one-day cricket side. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Complete Windscreens, the trusted South Australian name for car window tinting in Adelaide for over 40 years.
At Lockleys, look out for a smash on Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road. Blair Alpha, another collision there. Main North Road near Grand Junction Road. And Old Ranella car has hit a pole on Old South Road at Brunel Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Henley Beach Road. And look out for camera, Doothie Street at Unley. Want a Netflix subscription included in your internet plan? Get more choice when you switch to Optus Home Internet, the home of better internet. It starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Showers and a possible storm tomorrow, 20. And showers developing on Thursday, a top of 17. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Touching scenes as the Queen's children lead a moving vigil for their mother. A report reveals how an Adelaide ambulance delay death could have been prevented. How far and fast you need to walk every day to keep health issues at bay. And the new retail hub for Adelaide's North, bringing discounts and hundreds of jobs. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News Tonight at 6.
SA's greatest rivalry on radio. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 5. Nice to have your company on this Tuesday afternoon. Big second hour of the show on the way on Mystery Moments. $2,200. All thanks to the Burrows. Be nice to get your hand on that. Paul Gallen's going to join us. He's going to fight not one but two fighters on the same night.
Get out.
New South Wales versus Queensland. So go after 5:30. This half hour we are calling not Ian Sharman, no relation, not Suzanne Smith, who didn't call.
Oh, Susan.
David Mundy. Not the David Mundy, but another David Mundy of Semaphore Park. David, you have 20 minutes to call us for your chance to be in the running for 2 tickets to the Toyota AFL Grand Final flights and accommodation. He's picked up the Tizer. He's registered the code word 5AA.com.au. Surely someone knows David Mundy.
Come on, D. Mundy.
Fingers crossed he will answer his call. Now, before we get to Graham, just quick sport update for FIVEAA Milk. The Lions are arguing that Jared Berry acted in self-defence, while at the same time not calling Oliver's conduct into question. They're arguing that the contact was not intentional or careless, that it was merely accidental while flailing to get Oliver off him, and Luke Hodge has just been brought in as a character witness. So we'll bring that to you as it happens. But time for Graham Corns. Thanks to our great mates at Rossdale Homes. Check out any of the 9 display villages. They're open all weekend.
Oh, there he is, giving the Queen's wave to the Norwood supporters.
Graham Studley Corns.
Yes, each and every week the great Studley comes in and gives us his words of wisdom.
We like
no
it.
doubt
I
about
love it.
that. But before we get into the topics, Graham, your young colt, Kane, running.
He's
60-odd K a day.
He's running to Melbourne. If you can follow him on Twitter and Facebook, but he's averaging 67 kilometres a day. It's day 3.
Phenomenal.
He's nearly to Keith.
Wow.
And he's running at about, if he was doing a marathon, he'd be doing like 3 hours 30, 3 hours 40,
which is
marathon
fantastic.
time. Like,
he's a freak, that
I
kid.
took 5 hours to run a marathon.
Yeah.
You thought he'd just
And he's doing back to back to back to back to back.
No, 60.
Good on him.
He's doing 66, 67 Ks in just over 5 hours. 5 hours.
He's a running machine. Were you like that as a youthful man?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I ran a lot afterwards just to try and keep fit.
Yeah, but
I keep telling him, don't be so obsessive about it because it's not good. It can't be good for your body to do ultra marathons. You know, run for fun, but eventually your knees are going to pack up. And he said, "Oh, Steve Monaghan, he's still running, and he's." So
there you go.
I can't talk him out of it.
No, good on him. For charity, he's a star.
It's a great cause. So check him out on Twitter or Facebook and support the charity.
Now, have you got a dramatic prelim?
You guys you're too young.
Oh,
you're
okay.
just too young.
Here we go.
Oh, where you going to go? Peter Mead kicking
that was
massive torpedo.
That was
Adelaide
spectacular.
Oval.
That was. But the most dramatic prelim final of all time was the 1982 prelim.
Oh, yes,
Port
yes.
Well,
I'm not too young. I was there.
The whole atmosphere on that day, it was overcast. It was a bit of rain around. It was an ominous day. There was an ominous air about the whole thing, and then it just erupted when David Granger came onto the ground. Never has a game been dictated by the actions of one man like this game was, negatively perhaps. I think, which game did Anthony Koutafiti star in? Was that a prelim final?
99.
That was a prelim final?
It was.
So probably the most
Goodness
dominant,
me.
the most dominant individual performance was Cooter in that. But there was not a game like this.
Okay.
Had Port Adelaide won, I'm sure the Glenelg crowd would have come over the fence.
It would have been on.
It was an incredible
Grave
game.
danger.
No doubt about that.
And Norwood was just waiting for the...
Yeah,
and
but
we
we played out. I cannot even remember the grand final the week after.
We were too good.
Just I don't know. You beat us by 10 or 15 goals, I think.
Yeah.
That part of it's been expunged from my memory, but we'll never forget 82.
Wow.
Anyway, it was.
But so who did he clout? Who did he clout?
He
got about everybody.
He got me. He got Peter Maynard. He got Peter Maynard. He broke Stephen Barrett's leg.
You know, the irony of all of that is Stephen Barrett's the one he got suspended for quite significantly. I think he got 9 games.
No, he got that for hitting me.
For you?
Yeah.
I thought he got most of the games for
I know
Steve
you
Barrett.
Port Adelaide fans say he deserves a medal for hitting me.
Well, exactly. But I was actually, because I thought it was for Stephen Barrett's leg, and I thought that was an accident, that one.
Well, that it was an intentional. He
went to soccer the ball.
No, well, he went to put his head over the ball, Steve Barrett was coming the other way, so he took his
and he
head
went
off
to
the
kick the ball
and kicked the ball
and then kicked his leg.
Kicked his leg.
Could have broke his own leg in that situation.
So probably that, but no, he got for hitting me. And deservedly so.
He was a mighty player, but
he could play the game.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
so it's a great weekend. Prelim finals are the anticipation is tremendous.
I love them.
The reward at the end of it when you get through. The problem is when you get there's such euphoria and elation. You've got to get your feet back on the ground really quickly because it's not good enough just to get to the grand final.
No, you've got to win it once you're there.
Once you're there, and that was the problem with that '82 grand final. We were just Glenelg were just so delighted to have got through. But
talking about Samful prelims, what about the Crows Nord one on the weekend?
Well, it was interesting. Look, I went along. I said I wasn't going to go along if the Crows reserves were playing, but I thought, I better go. So I went along.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, I did because I
was there with all my mates.
A crowd of 5,800 for a Samful prelim final. So that's one indication of how it hasn't really been accepted, and. The Crows started as though it was going to be how far, and I thought, I'm thinking this is
Elliot Himmelberg, 4 marks in the first.
This is going to be
minutes.
a disaster.
Yeah.
But Norwood fought back, and they won the ball at ground level really well, and they took their opportunities right at the end when they could. It was a good game, but I just thought from the Crows' perspective, what does it mean for the future? Who of those players there impressed? Now it was interesting, of course, Mackesy. Played one of his better games. So
kick 3.
So his trade value is enhanced if he chooses to go back home, which is some of the if he doesn't choose to go back home, well, you see him in a slightly different light. I liked young Borlase. We haven't seen it. He hasn't had a chance. Teriak Newchurch does some magic things, but you can probably see why they're not ready to put him in there. You know, he's not vigorous enough.
I'm hopeful for him.
But he's got magic. He's got some magical qualities. If he can just bring the contest a bit better, a bit more vigor in the contest. He's not a big kid, and the young fella who put a target on his back, Josh Worrell.
Yeah, he can play.
Can play. I like him. I like it. So there was some positives out of that. The Crows' loss, and it was probably the right result. You know,
do you like Zach Taylor?
I did like Zach Taylor.
Good sidestep, isn't he?
He's just not quite big enough, is he?
Oh, he's only little.
He's 18.
And when you need big-bodied midfielders, he's probably not going to fill that need. But he was most impressive.
Yeah. Okay. Right result, which is good.
So there was it was the right result. The Norwood win. Crows give us a bit of an indication of what we can expect next year. Then we move on to a Norwood Grand Final, which should get a crowd of over 30,000, I would think.
I can't. We're calling it live and AA.
Absolutely. Wait. Now, Graham, moving on to the AFL Final Series, we're down to 14s. We've got the 2 prelims. Who's impressing you the most?
Well, surely Collingwood has just brought this final series alive,
haven't they?
And
they play good footy.
I find myself barracking for them.
Well, exactly. We hate Collingwood.
Hate them.
in a footy sense, you know.
In
footy sense, we hate. We almost hate them as much as we Port Adelaide, Timmy.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
No, you definitely hate us more. We've caused you more pain.
Come on, Jimmy.
So, but this is the way football should be played. They're strong in defence, but when they win possession, they just go. And I heard Mark Bickley talking about the stand rule. You know.
Yep.
You pay special attention to this. Every time a mark is taken or free, how many times do they not play on? Almost always they don't play on.
You've got to take advantage of it.
But they don't. They don't.
Well, Collingwood
all that happens every now and again, once or twice a game. It gives the umpire an excuse to give a 50-metre penalty and award like a gratuitous goal. So, but Collingwood, I mean, they run, they use the ball well, they move the ball quickly. They don't have a great forward line. They just don't have a great. You tell me who their star on the forward line is.
Probably no one, but it's the sum of all the parts.
Correct.
Someone just pops
Myercheck,
up.
Elliott.
Myercheck's their leading goal kicker. Elliott's got some special. Ginnivan's
Elliott, Ginnivan,
but they don't have
Hoskin Elliott. You're right.
They don't have
Tom
Hawkins. They don't have Jeremy Cameron.
No.
So I can't see them getting over Sydney, but gee, I hope they do.
All right, that's an interesting statement from Graham Corns of
Yeah,
all
we
people.
might have to record that.
Yeah.
We might play that back. We are calling for David Mundy. David has 10 minutes.
David
Mundy.
There was a famous
from
David Mundy that
Semaphore
played
Park.
baseball. I'm telling you, for Australia.
Well, fingers
He
crossed.
might live at Semaphore.
If you know David, tell him to call if he's registered the code word, got on our website, picked up the advertiser. He could be in the running to go to the AFL Grand Final with flights and accommodation. 10 minutes, David.
Talking about the advertiser, anyone else disappointed the Phantom Comics not in it anymore?
Not me, no, I'm never a fan. I was more of a Hagar the Horrible.
Jeff, or the Insanity Streak, that guy.
Oh, it was Foot Rots. Was it Foot Trots? Foot
Rot Flats.
Foot Rot
You'd be a
Flats,
real-
that's the one.
You'd be a real
And
Fred
the Far
Bassett.
Side. I love the Far Side.
Jeff Potter and I will love the Phantom.
Fred Bassett style. And just before we check the traffic, two quick updates. John Ralph reporting from the Herald Sun. It's a 4-year deal at Port Adelaide for Junior Rioli, $2 million.
$500,000 a year.
Yeah, for 500,000 a year.
High risk given he hasn't strung games together, but if it does pay off, it could be glorious.
He loves living in Adelaide.
Given the average wage is nearly $400,000,
Yeah,
it's not excessive.
The
is it?
West Coast, in reply, are filthy. CEO Trevor Nisbet said we could not have done any more to support Junior since his infraction in 2019 facilitated his appeal and subsequent return. So it is, quote, bitterly disappointment.
I get
We'll put that to one side. We'll arrange a suitable trade for a player who is high in talent, is a premiership player in the prime of his career, 51 games. So they want the kitchen sink.
Oh, I do
in
get
response.
that. They supported that kid through thick and thin. Actually, I get that.
And I think they paid him too.
Oh, yeah.
And Jared Berry's tribunal continues. He's giving evidence saying that he was under threat. Intentions were to get Clayton Oliver off me by pushing or grabbing or pulling him off. It was quite a vulnerable position, Tim. So we'll follow that one.
What did he pull him? What?
We're going to get to the break. Let's check the traffic for your drive home.
At Lockley, smash on Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road. At Blair Athol, another collision there, Main North Road near Grand Junction Road. At Old Ranella, car has hit a pole, Old South Road at Rennell Road, while at Hawthorne Burst Watermain slowing things up Belair Road near Princess Road. Quite busy at the moment, South Road near Anzac Highway with a camera, Green Hill Road at Tusmore. Spring Savers Goodyear tyre deals are here. Now's the time to see your local Goodyear Auto Care store for great tyre specials. Visit goodyearautocare.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland.
You're watching the 5AA live stream thanks to Foodland.
Foodland. The mighty.
Listen to David and Will's Grand Vinyl Eve on Friday, September 23rd from 7 till 10 p.m. Thanks to Clarity Records.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Jane Doyle to the show. And Jane, a terrible accident at Black Forest.
Unfortunately, yes. A woman appears to have been trying to rescue her dog from the tracks when she's been hit by an express train. It's just a terrible, terrible situation. So we'll have the latest on that. Now, overseas, of course, preparations are continuing for the Queen's farewell. Her coffin has been lying in state in Edinburgh at St Giles Cathedral, or at rest as they like to put it. A great honour. There are 10 ordinary everyday Aussies who've done some extraordinary things who will be invited to attend Her Majesty's funeral. One of them is from South Australia.
Beauty.
And another sadness for many who've been in awe of his life, the death of Uncle Jack Charles, Indigenous elder, actor and musician.
Absolute
and
champ.
an all-round larrikin, I think he'd be very happy to be described as, has died at 79. The victim of a stroke. Now in sport, at Norwood Training, we'll be there live tonight at Norwood Oval, and the Women's Tour Down Under has been elevated to the top category of world cycling for the first time, so that's great news. We'll have all the details tonight at 6 and 7 News. See you then.
Thanks, Jane. Jane Doyle and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice. 7 News tonight at 6.
Where would you find a massive 400-gram prime ribeye steak for only $19.90? Sky City. Where else? Available on Mondays and Tuesdays from the 5th to the 27th of September for Sky City Rewards members. If you're not a member, join today. It's free. Visit skycityadelaide.com.au to find out more.
Sky City, where else?
T's and C's apply. Gamble responsibly.
Everyone at the back, please. Sitting quietly, please. In a circle, thank you. Today we're going to talk about what we'd like to be when we grow up.
A police girl. Race car driver. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a concreter. With Adelaide exposed concrete. I want to be a concreter too. Me too.
AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au. Best on ground all year round.
What's a concreter?
It's one hell of a ute, the LDV T60 Max 4x4 diesel with 160 kilowatts from just $34,990 for ABN holders. Visit a dealer today. LDV, bring it on. T's and C's and exclusions at ldvautomotive.com.au.
If you love greyhound racing, come and watch the stars light up at the Tab Adelaide Cup on Friday, October 7 at Angle Park. Enjoy Group 1 greyhound racing with live music, food trucks, tab and bar facilities trackside, plus free kids entertainment and free general admission. For all the amazing hospitality packages and info, visit greyhoundracingsa.com.au. See you at the Tab Adelaide Cup, Friday, October 7 from 5 o'clock. Drink responsibly, gamble responsibly.
I give with heart and everything I do.
Acclaimed rock musician John Stevens survived open heart surgery thanks to the kind of life-saving research funded by the Heart Foundation.
As I lay in recovery, all I could think about was my family. That's why I'm pledging my support to Give with Heart Day, and you can too. It's something every family deserves. Donate to the Heart Foundation at givewithheartday.com.au and make September 14 the day you help save a life.
Scraped your caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 5. Corns here thanks to Rossdale Homes. David Mundy has 1 minute to...
No, here he is.
Oh, hang on.
Mundy Burger, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very
well
good.
done. Someone must have tipped you off because you were daydreaming, weren't you?
I was out with a grandson.
And what happened? Your son rang you and said, Dad, you better ring up.
Yeah, I've had about 5 calls on my phone. My son came running over and said, hey, you better get on the 5AA.
Oh, good on you. Well, you better take your son if your name comes out on Friday.
Is this David Mundy? David, are you the baseballer?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you,
Well
didn't
done,
I?
Timmy.
Yes.
Well, Hall of Fame baseballer.
Yeah.
That's where I'm now down at Canal Baseball Club with my grandson. So.
Oh, well done.
Brilliant.
Well, congratulations on your sporting career because you were a legend.
Absolutely.
Well, you are a legend, put it that way.
He's still with us. Good on you, Dave.
Well done, Dave. How good's that?
Well done.
That is
5
awesome.
of his mates
So
rang him.
he's on the middle of the diamond at Glenelg Baseball and doesn't hear the radio, obviously.
Of course
Got
he
20
didn't.
minutes to call in. Phone's gone ballistic.
How good's that?
Another name coming up at 5:30.
Hello, Brenton.
Yeah, hello, fellas. Fellas, just this trade between Junior Rowey and Georgiadis, I think we should do it. I know Georgiadis is younger than Junior, but the problem is the rumour I hear, and I don't know about you fellas, but Georgiadis wants to go home anyway. So if it's not this year, it's going to be next year, or so why not do it and get it all over and done with?
Well, the one thing Port Adelaide do have excess of is tall forwards. It was always one of their problems trying to fit the four into the three positions here. But you're not going to trade Mitch Georgiadis for Junior Rowey.
No.
So you're going to keep that. That's going to be a separate deal altogether. Mitch Georgiadis probably
He's a first rounder.
Well, definitely a first rounder. Given the fact he was up and down, he'd want to go home, of course, because if he's guaranteed he's going to get a game rather than being in and out of Port Adelaide's best team. He's still young. He's got an enormous upside. I think if it was pick 2, I think that would get it done, Timmy.
For you, maybe.
Timmy, everyone has a price, Timmy.
Oh, yeah, good on you.
So what are you?
All the best with it.
So what are you saying?
No, I'm not giving up Mitch Georgiadis. I think he's a classic that'll come back and bite you. Now, I understand where Brenton's coming from. You think he's going to go home anyway. You're not doing it for the Rowey deal. I agree with that. No. But, I'd have to have more inside knowledge just to say, how is he just disappointed with this year? What if he plays every game next year and plays a cracker? Is he then happy to stay?
Who's your starting key forwards?
Oh, he's in there. Marshall's in there. Probably Finlayson.
Well, what do we do with Charlie Dixon?
He rucks.
No, he doesn't.
He
does not, Timmy.
Yep, he does.
You got one too many.
Yeah. Well, you're giving away the 20-year-old gun?
If for pick 2, I am.
Nah, well,
I reckon I'd be tempted for
he's probably going to go home anyway.
I'd be tempted for pick 2, but I don't
It's
think
a
they'll do
pity
that.
because he's a rare talent.
He is a rare talent. Banning the minute silence by the AFL, and now we've got silence from the AFLW. Where do you sit, Stone?
Look, it was a mark of respect. Well, look, there's a lot of us who aren't monarchists. You know, we're not that enamoured with the royal family, but this was a moment. This is a significant moment in time, in history, where our reigning monarch, whether we like the fact that she's
for 70
our
years,
head of state of Australia, but she deserves respect.
My word.
And that's a small price to pay. And to label her as an invading, colonising. I'm trying to think of the right word, but you're trying to link her to the settlers who came in 1788, and when most of the time in her reign,
she wound everything back.
It's been about decolonisation.
Correct.
Countries
Correct.
have been establishing their own independence. I think it's only a matter of time before we do, but she is worthy of our respect. And a minute's silence, we don't have to put up with woke political correctness.
No.
Surely a minute's silence, whatever your political persuasion.
But that's where the AFLW's heading. They want to be the I don't know, the figurehead for all things minority. I mean, give us a spell.
No, well, they are
lefties. They are full left
fair
wing.
enough, and they fought hard for what they've got, and they
Well,
done.
they want to be careful.
Good luck to them. No,
their appeal is diminishing in my eyes.
I don't think just this issue. It wasn't just the AFLW players. It was.
Well, we need to know who it was. Was it Nicole Livingston as the CEO? Was it a collaborative? Was it the board? Was it? I mean, Susan Alberti. I take the lead from her. She was disgusted. She is the godmother of AFLW. Disgusted.
And a lot of people were. And if had they rethought it, they probably wouldn't
have done it again.
But we've had the same issue.
We'll just say that
when America with this taking the knee for a different cause, of course.
Yeah.
But some wanted to, some didn't.
Ryan, will anybody? You think you'll get an answer out of AFL House as to how it happened?
I don't think we need to go on a witch hunt, do we?
No.
Not a witch. I want someone to be held accountable.
Yeah, you're on a witch hunt.
Yeah, okay. I want them sacked. I think it's deplorable.
No, not sacked. It's
deplorable.
It was they misjudged it. It was an error of judgment, but it's not a sacking or a hanging offence. Surely
their appeal is diminishing.
Tanya Hosh is the GM of Inclusion and Social Policy for the AFL.
Let's get her on.
Tanya.
Let's get Tanya on.
Hey, Graham, before you go, mate, the Ark. Damien Hardwick gets a tour of the Ark.
Yeah. Well,
what about that?
That's fine. He's got an issue. They've invited him in. I mean, it's very Melbourne centric, of course, as it is. But he makes a good suggestion. The umpire, the goal umpire, doesn't say what he thinks it is. Just let the vision tell the story. Like, for instance, he doesn't say, "Look, I think it's a goal," and it's overturned. They just go straight to the vision. Now, I don't know what that means if the vision is inconclusive.
How about sheckling out a few more shekels to actually get some decent technology?
Well,
how about that?
I'm sure they're working on that. But that's a good suggestion of Hardwick. But if it's inconclusive, someone has to make a decision. So there's
it has to be the umpire.
Does the goal umpire do it after the Ark's been reviewed?
Well, let's just not have an umpire then if we're going to leave it to that.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
If you've got a dude there and you're paying him, make a bloody decision.
Right,
it's like the AFL.
But there's an easier solution.
What's that?
Have 2 goal umpires at each end.
Oh, no. No more umpires.
Well, look, rugby has them, and rugby league has them. The American Gridiron, they have 2 umpires at each end.
Let the 2 captains umpire.
Thank you, Graham. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Am I being banished now?
We're going to call out a new name right after 5:30. Just before you go, you'll like this, Cornsey. The Brisbane Lions have brought in neurosurgeon Damien Amato as a referee. He said there was a danger of obstruction of the airway and reduced oxygen supply to the brain.
And he wasn't thinking clearly.
This is ridiculous.
The kid's got to play.
Just play
He doesn't miss a prelim final for that.
We'll hopefully have the result for you before 6.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamare. King Charles will make his first visit to Northern Ireland in the coming hours. At the same time, the Queen remains in state in Scotland. A drunk driver who injured 5 people in a high-speed crash at Seaford Rise last year has been jailed for at least 2.5 years, and extending Adelaide's e-scooter trial for another year is set to dominate discussion at tonight's City Council meeting. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Got a few collisions to look out for. One at Marston, South Road near Richmond Road. Another one at Blair Athol, Main North Road near Grand Junction Road. And Old Ranella, car has hit a pole on South Road at Rennell Road. At Ross Trevor, we've got urgent electricity works there. St Bernard's Road near Coongar Avenue. And we've got a camera to look out for Cross Road at Myrtle Bank. Want an internet plan that puts family time first and adapts to make life easier? Get more choice when you switch to Optus Home Internet, the home of better internet. It starts with yes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 14. Showers and a possible storm tomorrow, 20. Currently it's 19 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
I'll tell you what, next Monday night might be a new record. It might be one of the biggest TV audiences we've had since Charles and Di got married, the Queen's funeral. David Woolwood in Edinburgh for 7 News.
Informing Adelaide.
Tens of thousands of people camping out overnight along the Royal Mile here in central Edinburgh just to get a quick look at that hearse as it was driven by.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 3,000 Hyundais, i30s, 20s, Santa Fe's, 2,000 Kias, Sorrentos, Carnivals, Rios, over 700 Hondas. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
5:32. Beale Shipway is a South Australian institution and has been looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. As long as the Queen has been the Queen.
You reckon that long?
Well, it is 70 years.
Well,
Beale
true.
Shipway and the Queen go hand in glove.
Good point.
I bet you Shippy's met the Queen. I bet you.
No doubt.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not invited to get over there. Get some hoses out. Get the Enerpac, Bosch Rexroth, the Allpath, the IDAC and the Easy Fit. Get some fluids in there, Timmy G.
Yes.
Don't wink at me like that, you Ryco head. They got plenty of stock too at their 217 Richmond Road. A great team of experts. Look, they're ready to help out. So jump on the blower, have a chat. They are the best. It's simple as that. It is. And remember, Beale Shipway's state-of-the-art workshop. They'll take care of your equipment, servicing and repairs. You blow a hose, out comes a Ryco 247. Brand new vans. I've been out and spinning one of these guys. Brilliant. Support a great SA company, and that's what we're about here at SA and at Adelaide and at 5AA. SA companies. Support them.
No better.
blshipway.com.au.
Oscar, Penny, Hercules, Horatio.
If dogs are a part of your family, you'll want to keep your family protected.
Jasmine, Jenny, Harley.
Simparica Trio gives dogs fast and effective protection from fleas and ticks, deadly heartworm and intestinal worms. A simple monthly chew that keeps your dog safe from deadly parasites inside and out.
Who wants to go for a walk?
So if you're a dog person, you'll want Simparica Trio. Protection from fleas, ticks, intestinal worms and heartworm.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
25 minutes to 6. I know you're not allowed to sing, Tim, but it's a great song by Me Life. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So far, Ian Sharman was a tick. David Mundy was a tick. Unfortunately for Suzanne Smith of Golden Grove, she missed out on the chance to go to the AFL Grand Final, be in the running for with flights and accommodation. All you've got to do is grab the advertiser every day, grab the code word and register your details
Easy
at
as that.
5AA.com.au. Our last name for today, for this half hour, 20 minutes, we head to Aldinga Beach, Bob Young. Bob, if you're listening,
Youngie.
Bob's family, friends,
Bob the Builder,
neighbours,
What a
relations.
view that would be tonight, Aldinga
Bob,
Beach.
you've
Oh.
got 20 minutes to call in.
when that golf is as flat as a bush biscuit and there's not a cloud in the sky, even if there is, we're blessed.
Before we get to go, quick
Blessed.
text for Cafe de Villiers. Timmy, Mitch Georgiades reminds me of a young Russell Ebert. Just saying.
Oh,
Greg,
wow.
is that too high a praise?
Ooh.
Timmy?
I would have thought a different player for me. Sort of big body midfielder, the Cripps type. They grab the ball,
Yes.
they're great in close, they can accelerate away. That
There's
sort of
only one
player.
Russell Ebert.
Georgiades, more your high-flying Max James or something like that of the same era. There you go.
Well, if you love your fights, big fight coming up on Thursday, the 15th of September. So we're about 10 days away. Foxtel and KO. You can order it on Main Event.
Looking forward to this, Timmy. Joining us, former NRL star. He was certainly that. He's now a boxing heavyweight. Paul Gallen. Paul, thanks for your time.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
I saw the press. It went off the rails a bit. A little bit of trash talk.
Yeah. No, that's boxing, and I suppose, people got to remember we're going to fight each other, so it does become personal. Someone's trying to take something off the other guy, and it's got to be personal today and a little bit heated, but, we get to sort it out on Thursday, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Justin Hodges reckons you're the worst Origin captain ever. That would have got under my skin, that one, Paul.
Mate, I didn't see him captain too many Origin games, if any. He actually captained none, so I'm not too worried about that. I know, unfortunately, my time in Origin was very, very tough against probably the greatest Queensland team ever, but fortunately, this isn't rugby league, this is boxing, so I get to come up here and just worry about myself and get myself prepared. And he hasn't got everyone or his other 16 mates around him helping him out this time. The absolute superstars and some of the best players ever played the game. They're not going to be in the ring with him, so he's in big trouble on Thursday night.
Oh, I love it. How was the concept born, Paul? Because it's called Origin Rumble, but you're fighting not one but two Queenslanders, and you're taking them on separately, and then you have a bit of an hour break in between. How has this concept worked out?
Well, they fought each other a couple of months ago, and during the build-up to that fight, they kept saying that they wanted to fight me. The winner wanted to fight me, and I sort of jokingly said one day, I'll fight you both at the same time, like joking around, and then the promoter obviously got a hold of it, and then Justin Hodges won the fight and was adamant he wanted to fight me. So Matt said he'd bring a bit more interest to the fight, and asked them both if they wanted to fight me and asked if I'd do it, and I said I would. And sure enough, here we are. I suppose the reason we're up in Queensland is because me and Hodger had a bet during the State of Origin period. If whatever state won the Origin series, would go and fight in that state, and unfortunately Queensland won the series. So here I am up in Brisbane, preparing to fight the boys on Thursday night.
At least you're a man of your word. Hey, they get 100K, it says here, but if one of them beats you, they get a chance to have a crack in December. Is that right? For $1 million?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's getting paid, but if they beat me, there's a rematch clause that they get $1 million to fight me again. So
that's not going to happen, is it?
Well, no. Obviously, that's on me to protect the money from the promoter. But I'll tell you what, I might want a little bit of a slice of that $1 million. I'm certainly not getting paid $1 million for it. So if I protect their $1 million, I might hit them up for a little share of that and see what I can get out of it. But yeah, look, I'm not planning on letting these guys win, that's for sure.
So who goes first, Justin or Ben, or is it a toss of a coin?
Hey, we don't know. I've been really frustrated with this the past month, trying to find out some details about it, but I found out the other day there's going to be at least a 1 hour break, as you said, so I'll have to have an hour break between the two fights. That's being requested or being told to us by the Combat Sports Authority, so that'll happen. As to who is fighting first, I don't know. I'm actually standing in the ring and one of them will walk out. So
okay,
whichever one walks out is going to get to face me fresh and fine and ready to go. And I'll be ready.
I reckon I'd want the peanut to come out first.
Now, which one do you consider? I consider them both as peanuts.
Well,
who do you consider the biggest peanut?
I think Ben might be a bigger peanut than Justin there.
Oh,
well, there you go, right? Well, they're both peanuts to me, and I don't really care who comes out first. I'm not going to go for that. There's no chance of going the four rounds. Not a chance.
Did you have a run-in with any of them during your playing career?
No, look, obviously Hodjo was always third, been in, so I never had a run-in with him on my own. He was always third or fourth guy at the back, pushing and shoving and carrying on. But no, I never had nothing against either of them. Played a lot of test match footy with them both. So there's nothing personal here as far as any grudges that we're trying to sort out. This is just a professional boxing match that, as I said at the start, it's going to get personal. But we've got no beef outside of what we're going to do on Thursday night. So hopefully this is professional. We'll get in there, do what we've got to do, shake hands and have a drink after it. But, yeah, I've got no problem with either of them outside of what we're going to do on Thursday.
Is this a warm-up for something bigger, Paul?
No, mate, I'm well and truly winding down, mate. I'm
Okay.
retiring this year. I've been telling everyone for the past more than 12 months I'm retiring this year. I have one fight left on my contract with no limit, and that if I do that fight, that will be definitely it. If I lose this fight, then I'll be done. So, yeah, fingers crossed I live to fight another day, but yeah, if I do that one, it'll be in December, and then that's it. I'm done.
Well, you know what, Paul? Look after yourself, mate, because you're now starting to sound like a boxer, and last time I looked at you, you looked like one. So you got plenty of life left in you, big fella.
Yeah, mate. Well, I've got to head for radio, put it that way.
Hey, mate, all the best. You're always giving of your time. Main event, Fox and KO. Can't wait. 2 peanuts up against Paul Gallen. I know who I'm backing. Good on you, buddy.
Dramas. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Paul Gallen, Origin Rumble, Gallen versus Hodges and Hannett. It's this coming Thursday night. You can order it on Foxtel, order it on KO. It is through Main Event. $60 will get you a great night of fighting, including Harry Gartside. The Aussie champ is in there as well, so big card.
How's me calling him peanuts?
Yeah.
I bet you if I had have interviewed the peanuts, I wouldn't have called him peanuts.
You wouldn't have.
No, you would not.
I remember when Danny Green fought Anthony Mundine.
Yes.
We'd have Anthony Mundine in. Oh, you're the best. Oh, I love you. Then Green would walk. Oh, the Green Machine. You're my favourite.
That's what you do.
And then when Anthony gave you, sorry, not Anthony, when Danny gave you just that little
He
punch.
punched me, and I lost my gallbladder 3 weeks later. No, Tim, I did.
I kid you not,
You
Tim.
are-
It was
you
the
are-
smallest
Nick-
punch you've ever seen.
No, it
but it
wasn't.
had such
He-
power. But he
bloody-
didn't wind up, did he? He literally just went bang.
He ruptured my gallbladder, and then I had a real dodgy Vindaloo, and next minute, bloody, there was an explosion in the box, and I was man down.
I did a talk night with Danny Green, and
He can talk.
I got up and did the emceeing and all that before he got up, and I did one of a one-liner sort of gags and all that sort of thing, and aimed at him sort of thing, and you should have seen his eyes go. I could not have apologised more times that evening.
Rowey put on a very brave face after the punch, but you could tell that it hurt.
It hurt.
There's a lot of...
Hey, Bobby Dazzler, well done. You rung in.
Thanks very much.
How
Sure did.
good's that? You're in the running, mate. I'll be taking you to the grand final.
Oh, sounds absolutely fantastic. Can't wait if it happens.
I've just found out today that Tim's not coming.
No, wife's birthday, can't go. Yeah, sorry, Bob.
Oh, well, that's unfortunately you won't be able to see the Swans get up and win.
Yeah, well, they'll be all
Swans
right.
man, Bob.
Yeah, wouldn't be against that, Bob.
You ever been to a grand final, Bob?
Well, I played for a team in Port Adelaide, and we saved up all year for the end of year trip to a grand final. And I got there and I went to the races instead and lost.
Oh, wow. Who was the team, Bob? Who were you playing for?
I've got a mental blank now. Rosewater.
Rosewater, yeah, that sounds like the Rosewater boys. Well played,
Well
mate.
done, Bob.
Well done, Bobby.
Good lads.
work.
You're in the
you very
running,
much.
Bob. Congratulations to you. A little bit of conversations with Cornsey there too.
I like
Bob's
that.
life story. We love
Yeah.
that. So 3 out of 4. Just do us a favour. If anyone knows Suzanne Smith of Golden Grove, just give her a friendly reminder
Do a
today.
nan.
Fortunately for Suzanne, just wasn't there at the time.
Can she
20
re-enter?
minutes. No,
No.
Well, she might be able to re-enter.
Tomorrow?
She had
Buy
better
the
things to
advertiser
do.
tomorrow.
Nah.
Get the code word.
Yep.
Today you'll find it. It's on the back page of the paper. Easy to find, so just look for Tim and
Hold
Rowey's
up the
photos.
camera, Tim.
There you go.
You can see this on our live stream, thanks to our great mates at Foodland, the Mighty South Aussies. So back page of the advertiser today. The code word today, Timmy, was?
MCG.
Right, so buy the paper tomorrow. Get on 5AA.com.au, our win page. Register 4 more names tomorrow. We would love to send you to the AFL Grand Final.
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moments.
Total shock and disbelief.
In the meantime, this just rises and rises,
Doesn't
Tim.
it?
It's $2,200.
Correct, one of Richie Benno's favourites. $2,200.
Is that your best,
Thanks
Richie
to-
Benno? You can do better than that.
Yeah,
Say we'll be back at the MCG in just a moment.
Sure. chew.
Oh, look at your mouth, mate.
No, I won't bother. Mystery moment, and we all thanks to the Barreau Hotel. And, of course, those clues were not written on here anymore. America.
Yes.
Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Academy.
Yes.
And 30.
And 30.
Go to it. $15 snitties, Monday to Wednesday, the Albion, the Burke, the Excelsior. You just know it's a Barreau.
Got a few things to look out for on the drive home. A smash at Elizabeth Park. That's on Tolmer Road at Wommer Road. Another collision. This one's at Marston, South Road near Richmond Road. And Old Ranella. Car has hit a pole. That's on Old South Road at Rennell Road. Hawthorne, you'll find a burst water main slowing things up. Belair Road near Princess Road. And it's quite busy at the moment, South Road near Anzac Highway. Keep an eye out for Canberra 2 Cross Road at Meadowbank. 9 out of 10 people who are blind or vision impaired don't need to be. You can help the Fred Hollows Foundation restore sight for as little as $25. Go to hollows.org. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here.
You're watching the 5AA live stream thanks to Foodland.
To guess who's holding the tickets will win their way to the G for the 2022 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
Make sure you keep it on 5AA for your chance to win.
AFL Authorised Year Promotion, GFAFL 22/106.
Whether it's been years since you set foot in a classroom or you live in one, you meet some of the friendliest people at WEA. It's a safe space to learn something new. Find your next something and meet your people at wea.com.au.
If you're due for a service, here's a little reminder of what you get at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Sure, your car gets state-of-the-art servicing by top-trained mechanics. But what do you get? Try next-day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. Oh, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we know that to be the best, we've got to look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Yes, Barry White and his team are at it again. Gomersall Wines, they know how to make a great drop and they know how to make your spring a delight. So they're offering 5AA listeners, listen to this, a generous deal, 40% off, Rowey.
That is quite amazing, to be honest. 40% off store-wide, incredible stuff. It's the perfect excuse to stock up for spring and the festive season.
Yep.
And they've got a wine to complement, well, just about any dish. The
Correct.
Riesling would be lovely with some mussels, with its citrus and lychee notes. And the Cab Sav would be phenomenal with a topside roast. Get online and please get inspired. This fantastic deal is exclusive to 5AA listeners. So just head to the Gomersall website, enter the code word 5AA40 at the checkout, receive a massive 40% off store-wide, excluding their Vingin.
That's it.
Vingin,
they call it. Take advantage of this amazing offer.
Oh.
And I'm going to because I need to stock up. I know the girls like the Moscato, actually,
do
that
they?
they do, which is nice and a very nice time for spring.
Okay.
Visit gomersallwines.com.au for the special offer. 5AA only. 5AA40 is the code word. That is 5AA FIVEAA 40.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
G'day, it's Mark Bickley. Schools, councils and businesses all over South Australia choose Leader Computers for very important reasons. Leader is local and exceptional value. No matter what happens, Leader can be on site to fix your problem. No overseas or interstate call centres to deal with. Plus, Leader Computers is a 100% owned and operated South Australian company, offering fast same-day delivery and setup. That's why so many organisations rely on Leader. Google Leader Computers to find your closest Leader reseller.
The NBN network is made for more streaming, game downloads, online business, working from home, and more. Learn more at nbn.com.au/morespeed. Experience may vary depending on factors such as NBN technology, internet provider, plan and equipment.
Learning online is great, Until you have a question. Learn it local at WEA. With a huge range of courses, WEA is a great way to learn new things and meet new people with teachers who can actually answer your questions. Visit wea-sa.com.au. Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey
And Timmy G.
on the 5AA Sports Show.
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moment.
Total shock and disbelief.
All right, it's $2,200, all thanks to the Barrow Hotel Group.
We've got Craig on the line. Craig, the mystery moment, thanks to the Barrow Hotel Group. The clues have been America, Hall of Fame, Academy, and 30. So how have you put those into the mystery moment?
Well, this bloke, he was 30 when he retired.
Uh-huh.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an academy.
Right.
And I think it might be Michael Jordan. And I reckon it is when he's announced or he's played his last game for Chicago. The first time after he had led them to 3 NBA championships in a row.
And then he went and played baseball.
Then he went and played baseball.
Right.
And then he came back.
Hang on, Craig. Are you saying the guess is Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've had him 15 times.
Have we?
Have you?
Well, at least 3.
Well, that's
2.
It's a little bit of mayo.
Is this a reverse?
Okay, have we had Michael Jordan before?
We have.
Well, there you go.
But
Sorry,
not
Craig.
this particular moment.
There was a lot of homework in that, Craig.
No, there was.
Well played, mate.
All due credit to yourself, Craig,
Yes,
but
I'll
you were wrong,
give you a
sadly.
$50 voucher to the Bro
Good
Hotel
man.
Group for that, buddy. Well done.
$2,250 tomorrow.
Good on you. Hey, Gary, thanks for waiting. You want to have a chat about the AFLW?
Yes, I did, Rowey. Look, I'm with you. I was very disappointed with the AFL's response through the AFLW to the Queen's minute of silence because the Queen, looking at it from a factual point of view, the Queen's never done anything except offer a lot of support and empathy to the Aboriginal race here in Australia. I mean, if you look at the 1954 tour, she came out here, her and Prince Philip, not long in the job, and she insisted on going to Alice Springs and Darwin to visit Indigenous people. It's been well reported that happened, and her own delegation didn't want her to go because they thought it was too harsh and that she had a big enough tour as it was, and she extended it to go to Alice Springs and Darwin. And also I heard recently that Noel Pearson went to visit her at Buckingham Palace with a delegation of Aboriginal elders, and he said he felt like he'd been treated and spoken to like a human being for the first time in his life. When he met the Queen, he said she was nothing short of perfect in terms of how he received them and treated them with empathy and genuineness and sincerity. And so I find it very affronting when the AFLW couldn't even, even though it was Indigenous round, couldn't stand up and say, let's have a minute's silence to the Queen.
Yeah. Gary, I'll say it again. This is not on our First Nations people, the ones that were offended by that. That in my eyes, that is fine. If that's the way they feel about the monarchy, they have every right to feel like that. For me, my disappointment or anger is levelled solely at the AFLW and the decision makers for not seeing this through. Now, I think it's even worse that they haven't come out and explained themselves. Now, if they may very well have explained themselves, we may all be, this is the First Nations people and us, a little bit further down the path and thinking, well, okay, I can see where they're coming from there. But nothing but crickets. It's pathetic. It's weak.
Bit of silence on that one.
Yeah, it'd be nice to hear from someone, at least get the explanation as to why. It continues. I don't think we'll have an answer before 6 o'clock, sadly. This is the Jared Berry Tribunal decision.
So
Vision
that's got
of
to be going
Rory.
an hour and a half now.
What a waste of time.
Started at 4:30, yeah. So Rory Sloane's report from earlier in the year was shown by Anderson from the Lions. He said the one-match ban was downgraded from intentional to careless, resulting from the weight to the tribunal, which gave Sloane's evidence there. The AFL, in response, however, said that Oliver was on top of Berry, but this does not excuse the action, which was unreasonable and unnecessary. The Vision provides enough evidence to disregard Berry's evidence that he was aware of Oliver's eyes, or unaware, rather, of Oliver's eyes. So they're saying, bad luck.
Who's the AFL council? This bloke is so gung-ho.
a bloke by the name of Payne at the moment. He
Oh, it's
said
a
the
different
speed in
dude.
which the contact happened is very difficult to Rory Sloane's. Sloane had a limited view of the face, while Berry had a full view of Oliver's face. Are they trialling this like it's...
This is ridiculous.
Some Supreme Court kind of decision?
I haven't heard one football person think that he deserves a
Correct.
game. Okay, it was careless, cop a fine, he plays in the prelim.
Two blokes having a fight in the middle of the oval, wasn't it?
Keep listening to Michaela throughout the night. 5AA
Okay.
News Updates will get the latest for you then.
The Last Shout.
Well, mine's a little bit premature because this game doesn't start till 7:30 Thursday night, live on 9 or Stan Sport. But I love my mighty Wallabies. We went to camp with the team.
That's
Timmy.
right.
They play the All Blacks on Thursday night. It's game one of the Bledisloe Cup. Coach Renning's made a number of changes, but the reason I'm mentioning this as a last shout, I thought I'd look at the record, and I would have thought this is one of the great rivalries, a bit like the Showdown. What's it, 27-28 or
They've
whatever?
given us a few hidings.
They have given us a hiding since 1932. The All Blacks have won 49 cups.
Wow.
How many do you think the Wallabies have won?
Dozen.
Pick a number.
Dozen.
Yeah. Exactly a dozen. They've won the last 19. The last one we won was in 2002. So, Mr. Rennie, we're due. Come on, Wallabies.
Wow.
Come on.
That's going to be a tough ask, I reckon.
Yeah, it might be. They are so good at rugby, aren't they?
Before I get on to this little bizarre last shout, just a quick shout out to Hannah Ewings for being the AFLW Rising Star, Port Adelaide, 2 in a couple of weeks. So, awesome stuff there.
Didn't you say that yesterday?
No.
Okay. Was that only done today?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't do that one. So this one is about an ex-quarterback.
Timmy, you did that one yesterday.
No.
She was announced yesterday.
I might have read that yesterday.
Come
but
on.
that's okay.
Oh, you might have.
Now,
I didn't
Timmy,
do it.
I know you love pork, but you don't have to feed it down our throats, mate.
Well, he did it, not me. But I don't listen to him.
Correct.
Timmy's... Leith, Timmy, look down the barrel at 5AA. You've gone red for the first time.
Yeah.
You've gone beetroot red.
Well, I don't remember him saying it. That's what I'm embarrassed about.
Your new nickname is Sandra Sully.
Anyway, Robin Griffin, the third
Yes.
ex-quarterback,
Yes.
has outrun the mascot,
Yeah.
a big hawk.
So they're at Seattle today. The Seahawk,
Okay.
you know, like the West Coast let
Yes,
their eagle
they had
fly.
the big wedge tail come in.
Man versus bird. Who
Yeah.
do you think won?
All right, so far, Tame of the Hawk, he's gliding to a victory.
Come on now.
I think.
Come on now.
I think the Hawk won.
Hey, he ain't never seen the Griffin before.
It looked like to me the Hawk won.
He ain't never. I didn't go early. He ain't never seen the Griffin before. Half lion, half eagle. Let's go.
Now listen. Are you okay,
I'm
hamstring?
okay. I think the Cowboys just called me.
Right.
I didn't understand anything.
And it's a lot better if you see it.
Oh, me, Tim.
Robert Griffin
that was
III.
worse than mentioning
No, it
that
was not.
Yes, it
Robert
was.
Griffin
What just
III.
happened there?
He ran against a bird. So the question is, which birds would you like to run against?
Yeah, I think
A
that's
race.
more of a TV one.
See you tomorrow.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
G'day, South Australia. Cheats here. Over the years, I've seen some great South Australian teams, but the best has to be the team from BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. They've been looking after the state's hydraulic and